this project, you're going to need a 5mm or a 5.5mm hook, 2 1-inch hair ties. You need at least 10 feet each of blue, green, white, brown, yellow, gray, and red yarn. You also need stitch markers, those are optional, a needle, and scissors. I'm going to start with a 5.5mm hook. This is because my tension is very tight. The typical crocheter should be fine with a 5mm hook. Okay, we're going to start with blue, but you can start with any color you want. We are going to begin with a magic circle. I do a double magic circle. It makes the binding a little bit more secure. Right, with blue, we're going to do a half double crochet in the magic circle. And we're going to remove our hook from the blue yarn. At this point, if you're comfortable, you can use a stitch mark to hold that in place. I just did a big loop and mine was fine. I'm going to pull the blue yarn off to the side, and now I need to add the next color, which is going to be green. I'm going to do a slip knot. Attach the green yarn to the magic circle with a slip stitch. And then 1 half double crochet in the magic circle. I'm going to pull the tail to tighten it, and then slide the green yarn towards the blue yarn. Okay, we are doing rows 1 and 2 simultaneously. So for row 2, I'm going to do a half double crochet increase of the blue yarn in that green yarn double crochet, or sorry, half double crochet. So here's a increase. This is row 2. Okay, I'm done with the blue yarn. I'm going to pull the yarn that's blue and green off to the side so I can easily attach the next color, which is going to be white. Okay, to attach the white string, I'm going to do a slip knot and then attach to the magic circle with a slip stitch. Okay, I'm going to do 1 half double crochet into the magic circle. Pull the tail to make it tight. And slide the white next to the green. Okay, now we're going to do row 2 with the green, which is an increase in the white half double crochet. I'm going to push the white, green, and blue yarn off to the side so I can easily attach the next color, which is going to be this brown. I'm going to do a slip knot and then attach the brown yarn to the magic circle with a slip stitch. And then we'll do 1 half double crochet into the magic circle. Pull the tail to tighten that slip stitch. Move the brown a little bit closer to the white. And now I'm going to go back to the white and do row 2, which is going to be an increase into that brown half double crochet. I'm going to move all the yarn off to the side so I can easily attach the next color, which is this gray. I'm going to attach the gray yarn by doing a slip knot and then a slip stitch into the magic circle. And then a half double crochet. Pull the tail to tighten it. Push the gray yarn back towards the white yarn, or sorry, the brown yarn. And with the brown, we're going to do a row 2, which will be an increase in that gray half double crochet. This bit that does take a little more patience, but it'll be worth it. Okay, pull all the yarn off to the side. Okay, you can start to see that this pattern is building on top of each other. Okay, now we're going to add the yellow. Okay, start with a slip knot, and then we'll slip stitch into the magic circle. And then we'll do one half double crochet. Okay, tighten the tail. Scooch the yellow closer to the gray. And now we're going to do round 2 with the gray, which will be a half double crochet increase in that yellow stitch. Alright, move all the yarn off to the side so we can attach that last color. Okay, we need to add the red. Okay, start with this slip knot, and then we're going to slip stitch into the magic circle. And then do a half double crochet into the magic circle. Pull the tail. And now we're going to switch back to yellow. To complete round 2, which is going to be a half double crochet increase into that red stitch. Okay, and before we do round 2 for the red, we're going to close this magic circle. So we scooch the stitches close to each other. That's going to free up that space where the loops are. Pull the tail to see which one of the loops moves. Okay, and then we're going to pull that loop that moved the opposite direction. Okay, and that'll close the first loop. Pull it nice and tight. Okay, then we pull the tail, and that closes the second loop. Okay, now we can complete round 2 with the red by doing a half double crochet increase in the very first blue stitch. Okay, and that was round 1 and round 2. Okay, starting with that middle swirl, and then we're going to continue this pattern, just increasing a couple stitches with each color, a few at a time. Okay, so we ended with red, but at this point you could switch to any color you wanted. Oh, first we're going to fasten off the tails. This will make our lives a lot easier by not getting them confused with the working yarn. So just grab all the tails of all the 7 colors. Now what we need to do is tie them in a knot. Tighten it real good. And then we can trim it. Okay, and that's just going to stay on the inside. So it doesn't matter, you won't even be able to see it. Okay, now we're going to start round 3. So again, you can start with any of the colors. I'm just going to start with where I left off, which was the red. Okay, following this method, the colors are going to switch. Okay, so this is round 3, so we're going to do a half double crochet in the first stitch, and then a half double crochet increase in the second stitch. If you can tell, it is following the typical amigurumi increase pattern. Okay, with the blue, we're going to do a half double crochet in the first stitch. And then a half double crochet increase in the second. Okay, now with the green, I'm going to do a half double crochet in the first stitch. And then a half double crochet increase in the second. Now switching to white. I'm going to do a half double crochet in the first stitch. And then a half double crochet in the second, a half double crochet increase in the second stitch. Okay, now with brown. Do a half double crochet in the first stitch. And then a half double crochet increase in the second stitch. Okay, next is the gray. Do a half double crochet in the first stitch. And a half double crochet increase in the second stitch. And since we started this row with the red, that means we're going to end with the yellow. So this will be our last stitches of round 3. We're going to do a half double crochet in the first stitch. And a half double crochet increase in the second stitch. And you can see there's 3 more stitches and that's going to be in round 4. Okay, so you can see right now it's looking pretty good. It's already starting to swirl all on its own. Okay, that got it wide enough, but you could keep increasing with this pattern if you wanted to. But from now, we're just going to do half double crochet in each stitch. This will help us curve the sides. So 3 half double crochets with the yellow. Okay, so we started this round 4 with yellow. Okay, now we're going to do 3 half double crochets with the red. Okay, now with the blue. Okay, the gap between the colors is a little bit larger now, so it is easier to grab the colors. The threads don't get as tangled as they did in the first couple rounds. Okay, there's our 3 half double crochets with blue. Okay, now with green, 3 half double crochets. Switch to white. 3 half double crochets. And with brown, we're going to do 3 half double crochets. Okay, and finally the gray. We'll do 3 half double crochets. Since we started with yellow for this round, we're going to end in gray. That means gray will be the first color in round 5. Okay, that was our 3 half double crochets with gray. And that concludes round 4. Again, I'm going to continue with gray. You could start with any color you wanted though. Okay, we're going to repeat what we just did. We're going to do 3 half double crochets in each color. So start with 3 half double crochets with the gray. Okay, so since we're starting with the gray this time, we're going to end with the brown. All right, switch to yellow. We'll do 3 half double crochets with yellow. And now with red, we'll do 3 half double crochets. Next is blue. We'll do 3 half double crochets. Next is green. We'll do 3 half double crochets. Okay, next is white. Do 3 half double crochets. And finally, we're going to be ending with brown. Gray started the row, that means brown will end it. We're going to do 3 half double crochets. Okay, that'll complete round 5. Okay, that swirl is already looking very beautiful. I absolutely love this pattern. Right, again, you can start anywhere, but I'm going to continue where I left off with brown. So brown's going to start. We're going to do the same exact thing. 3 half double crochets in each stitch. Sorry, 3 half double crochets in each color around. So first 3 half double crochets with brown. Okay, since brown started our row, we're going to end this one with white. Okay, now we're switching to gray. Do 3 half double crochets with gray. And now with yellow, we'll do 3 half double crochets. And next is red. We'll do 3 half double crochets. Right, then it's blue. 3 half double crochets. And next is green. 3 half double crochets. And finally, we're going to end with the white. 3 half double crochets. Okay, this is about perfect for my hair. You can make this longer by continuing this pattern, just 3 half double crochets. But I'm ready to add in the hair tie. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 single crochets instead of half doubles now. And when you do the single crochet, you need to include the hair tie. So the hair tie is just going to sit against the stitch. You go through the stitch, through the hair tie, and then complete your single crochet. You go through the stitch, through the hair tie, and then complete your single crochet. Okay, and one more with white. Go through the stitch, through this hair tie, complete the single crochet. And you can see that it's snug within those stitches. Okay, let's move on to brown. Okay, this can get a little bit tricky as the stitches go along the elastic. It pulls them really tight, close together. So one trick you can do is just to pull the elastic, slide those stitches down. Okay, so go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete your single crochet. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete your single crochet. Okay, one more with brown. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Okay, we need to do this all the way around. Okay, now with gray, go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete your single crochet. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Okay, pull that hair tie if you need more space. Okay, last one with gray, go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Right, now we're moving on to yellow. Okay, now with yellow, we're going to go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. And once more, go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Okay, now with red. Okay, besides the first and second rows, this one is the hardest to do. Okay, with red, we're going to go into the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. And then one more time with red, go through the stitch. Uh-oh. I caught the yellow in with the stitches. I'm going to undo them and fix this real quick. Okay, we only want it to go through the stitch and through the hair tie, so let's pull that yellow in the back. Let's try this again. Go through that stitch, through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Okay, and then one more through the stitch, through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Oh no, I'm sorry, now there's one more. Okay, go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. And that was our 3 red single crochets. Okay, again, those yarns might get a little bit mixed up. It happens. Okay, now we're going to do blue. Okay, pull that hair tie, give it a little bit more space. Okay, go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Alright, we're on green. This is going to be the last one. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet. Go through the stitch, go through the hair tie, complete the single crochet, and once more, go through the stitch, make sure you go through the hair tie, and complete the single crochet. Okay, that secures the hair tie to the bun hugger. It's going to keep it nice and tight. Alright, finally round 8. This is going to be our last round. I'm going to start with green. What we're going to do is chain 2. Give it a little bit of height. And now in the front loop only, double crochet in that same stitch. Okay, now we're going to do 3 front loop only double crochets. Alright, we're almost all done with this green. We just need to do one more thing before we can cut it off. Okay, now let's switch to white. We're going to chain 2, give it some height. And then we're going to do a front loop only, double crochet in that same stitch. Okay, now we'll do a front loop only double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Alright, now we can finish with the green. So go back to the green. We're going to slip stitch into the second chain of the white yarn. Chain 2. And now we can cut the green yarn. Okay, I only had a little bit of the green left. Okay, so we need to move on to the brown now. Going to chain 2, give it some height. Front loop only double crochet in that same stitch. And then front loop only double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Alright, we can fasten off the white yarn now, so let's jump back to the white. We're going to slip stitch into the second chain of the brown. Chain 2, and we can fasten that off. Okay, a little bit of white left over. Okay, now let's go to the gray. Okay, we're going to chain 2. Front loop only double crochet in that same stitch. And then front loop only double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, now we can finish the brown. We're going to slip stitch into the second chain. Chain 2, and then fasten off. Okay, not that much brown left over. Okay, now moving on to the yellow. Okay, we're going to chain 2. Front loop double crochet in that same stitch. and front loop double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Right, we can finish off the gray, slip stitch into the second chain, chain 2, and fasten off. Right, let's go to the red now. We're going to chain 2, front loop only double crochet in that same stitch, and then front loop only double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Right, let's finish the yellow. We can slip stitch into the second chain, chain 2, and fasten off. Right, last one, we're going to finish blue, chain 2, front loop only double crochet in that same stitch, and then front loop only double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Right, and we can slip stitch to the second chain of the green, chain 2, and fasten that off. Right, now we can jump back to the red, finish this one off too. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch to the second chain, chain 2, and fasten off. Okay, and I had a little bit left of yellow, the red, the gray, and the blue. All right, you can see very beautiful swirls. The 3 rows going up the side give it enough height to fit half of your hair typically. I very much enjoy this pattern. All right, now all we need to do is weave in the ends. Okay, this pattern was inspired by the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. In that world, there are a group of women magic users that are called channelers, and they divide themselves into colors, these 7 colors, based on what their mission is in life. And when I read these books, you know, the end of my high school days, growing up into a young adult, they just really resonated with me. I wanted to make sure I had this pattern complete for the premiere of season 3 of the Wheel of Time TV show. Also, it's fun to do Wheel of Time cosplay any time of the year, so it's good to have these. When we are weaving in these ends, since I did the chain 2, it gives it a double knot when we were fastening off. Okay, that means they just need to be tucked in, they don't need to be secured. Okay, those won't come undone. So basically we're just making sure they stay out of the way. So I like to tuck them through the same color. Oh, it's less likely they'll show through. So I'll go through the top, pull it down, go through all those double crochets of the brim. Okay, and then go through the half double crochets, and then finally go underneath that hair tie. Just want to make sure I get that as far away from the brim as possible so those weaves don't start poking out. Within the world of the Wheel of Time, the white aja was, or is, I suppose, the aja I identify with. They are dedicated to logic and the pursuit of knowledge. They try to be devoid of emotions, but that's definitely not something I can deal with. And we're almost all done, just one more. Weave in this gray. Put it through those double crochets. Through the half double crochets. And finally I want to tuck it underneath that hair tie. Okay, and now your bun hugger is complete. Don't forget to make a second one for your other bun.